Hello, Playdate. This is Don.
This is Nick.
And I'm Ryan.
This week we are covering Playdate news.
Recent indie releases.
And actually coming to you with a really for real whole show this time.
That's ambitious. Thank you for listening. Let's get started. We're hoping
Let's get started
to have
indeed.
a regular
Yeah,
episode.
We'll do it. We'll do it. It's happening. We have to commit.
Thank you for the unusual episode last time. We had good feedback, though. We went with an all uncranked play jam episode last week, but
It's good to mix it up a little bit. Variety is the spice of life, right?
Yeah, it was fun. It worked out all right, so that was cool. Speaking of fun and different, we are introducing a new podcast logo. Hopefully you have noticed it by looking at your devices or our website or our socials, but everything should be changed, and we are celebrating with a new shirt, and I'll let Ryan tell you more about it, but you might notice the art is a little familiar because one of the three of us is an artist and the other two of us are very much not, but Ryan is an artist and he himself crafted the art, and it looks awesome, and it went through months and months of deliberation and tweaks, and Nick would not stop pushing Ryan into the corner to make changes.
He finally got me to break down and weep, and then he's like, okay, I guess that's fine. But anyway, you'll know the story behind this very happy logo of ours. No, and Nick did nothing of the sort. He's a very kind gentleman. But this podcast logo is new. It's here. It's for you. It's for our show. And we figured after dozens of episodes and 2 years of talking to you, it was finally time to brand ourselves. So here we are. We're making it happen. And as Don mentioned, we are celebrating with a new shirt. So we are taking pre-orders for the next month or so. So basically through July 4th, you will have an opportunity to head over to the link in the show notes for today's episode, which is at elephanteater.com/HPP shirt. That'll take you to the pre-order page on my website, and that'll allow you to grab a shirt. They're going to be $30. That includes shipping in the United States, so you don't have to think about that. These shirts are going to be 100% ring spun cotton, which means they are very soft. After illustrating many shirts, I have become a shirt snob, and this is the only fabric I will allow to grace this body. So I'm passing that comfort on to you, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It looks just like the podcast artwork you see on your player right now. It's on the same color t-shirt. Man, I can't wait to share this with folks. But if you're thinking that we are going to overprint and have these available in perpetuity, and you can just buy them whenever, maybe down the line at the holidays, that is not the case. We are only making enough for pre-orders, and that's it. So if you want in on this, you got to get it real soon. Like I said, we'll be accepting pre-orders through July 4th. So we're giving you about a month.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. So don't wait. Hop on it now. And thank you, Ryan, for getting that together.
Indeed. And thank you for accepting some artwork. I'm glad we could finally make this happen. I feel like it was... like I delayed that, but I'm happy it's here now.
Yeah, you're busy.
Yeah.
We get to enjoy it on our devices year round, either way.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so that does it for the first you thought you got out of that, Don. News and notes. Next one is the fact that there is a bunch of Playdate Community Direct stuff going on. First of all, there is an informational video that you can go check out about the Community Direct. Basically, it's aimed at devs if you want to share your games or things of that ilk. Talks about that. You can also send your trailer to a separate but equal URL that we will have in our show notes for today's episode. And you will also see a link to a poll about your favorite Playdate song. Now, I reached out to one Zanya Lasagna and said, hey, I get this direct stuff. I get your soliciting trailers. What's going on with the song poll? And I was able to weasel out of her some information for all of us. This is surprise info. She was going to release this, and I'm like, okay, let me let you make this announcement. She's like, no, I insist you do it. And I said, okay, fine. So here we go. Exciting news. Boobity boo boo boo. Narthex will be the musical guest for the direct. He's going to perform the top 3 songs during the show and going to do an after party that night. So if you think you're done partying after the Playdate direct, think again. Narthex is rocking the house with some sweet jams. So don't forget to budget some time for that too. Guys, thoughts?
That's cool. I know that name. Has he done other has Narthex done other Playdate music?
I It sounded super familiar to me too, and I was counting on you, Don, to
Uh,
remember the credits of Narthex. Tell you what, I'm going to talk about the next news and note while you guys look that up, and then maybe we'll look not so awful.
all right, thank
Next
you.
news and note, you guys remember while you're looking that up that $400,000 worth of playdates were stolen or
Hmm.
lost or misplaced in Las Vegas, Nevada, ended up at some construction site. All kinds of wackiness ensued. Well, there is an update. Those playdates have been recovered. You can check out the Bluesky link in our show notes for today's episode. That's going to lead you to a little weensy snippet of a story that basically says they were recovered and then hastily dumped at a restaurant in Las Vegas. Just like, there they are, they appeared. And so everybody's asking about what's happening, what's going on. And basically, Panic is like, oh, just wait until you hear this story. And they've not released the story, at least from what I was able to gather yet. That was like 4 or 5 days ago at this point. So I'm guessing that we're in for quite a story. So there's that. Hey guys, how about that info on Narthex?
Um, he does video game music drum covers. It looks like every Playdate person except us follows him, but I have seen this his icon before. So yeah, it must be through Discord squad channel is where I'm guessing.
I feel
So
like our next
sorry
episode
about that,
I
but
feel like our next episode is going to involve a correction of
correction,
lots of
yeah,
people
definitely. But I
rightfully
did find
emailing
it.
us about
Yeah,
this. Okay.
sorry. Okay, link to Narthex in the show notes. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
All right. So coming up next, did you guys know that there's a new episode of the official Playdate podcast featuring Faraway Fairway? Did you guys listen to this?
Yeah, I did give it a listen. It was cool. It's
Yeah.
a shortish, 23 minutes or so, all
Yeah,
killer, no filler.
that's right.
But
They
it
had
sorry, I'm
Rokashi,
gonna keep talking over you.
well, go for it.
No, it's all right. Give some background, give some background. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to mention it was basically an interview with the head developer Rokashi about the game. It's a procedurally generated mental health golf game, and I'm sure you guys have heard about this if you're listening to this podcast. I feel like they've been teasing this one for, gosh, what, like a year at this point?
Hmm.
And it was interesting to hear some of the latter talk in the episode where I'm trying to remember. I think Krista Mergen was asking Rokashi about, is there anything you would change or anything that surprised you about the Playdate development process? And his answer was something to the effect of, I'm surprised it took me 2 years to do it. And I kept thinking, man, I remember those trailers for the game many moons ago. And then they just kept coming and kept coming. And I'm like, is this thing coming out? Anyhow, it's great to see it finally here. It's great to see this conversation with Rakashi and get a little more insight about that. Don, did you have any takeaways from the interview? Or Nick, maybe you listened also.
Yeah, well, I had played a little bit of it before listening to the episode, and I was like, yeah, this is cool, this is chill. I don't know how long it goes on, and like I just didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing, I guess. But then listening to the episode gave me a little more focus on it, and I guess the thoughts behind the trees and the purpose and how you're supposed to be feeling when you're playing the game. And there is a little more meta game there than it seems at first. And so it made me want to play some more and just kind of chill out, put on a podcast or listen to the music and relax. Notice how forgiving it is and whatnot. It is a very forgiving golf game. There's no score really. But at a certain point, it is like, oh, round is over. So I was like, oh, okay, it is keeping track of something in here.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but it sounds like there's also some like secret areas that you can get into. He didn't say a lot about it, but I thought that was kind of interesting too. Nick, did you listen to this episode?
I did. I haven't played the game, but it sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
It has like the islands have a little bit of a Toe Jam and Earl feel, the first game. And so there is a way you can pan the camera. And so after listening to the episode, I panned the camera out really far to see if I could find, like in the first stage of Toe Jam and Earl, way in the bottom left corner, there's a hidden island. Spoiler for a
Hmm.
35-year-old game, but I didn't spot any secret islands or anything, but maybe there's something like that at some point. I don't know.
Cool. All right. Well, if you've been hurting for official Playdate podcast episodes, you've got one now, at least since our last episode. Um, After that, we have an unofficial Playdate write-up about art and. Um, this is something I really wanted to toss out there for Ledbetter. He mentioned this on the tweeters, and he's just such an incredible part of this Playdate community, and I'm glad he's getting some love. I'd like to include this link to the unofficial Playdate write up about art and Ledbetter. Thank you for all the games that you produce, all the things that you do for the Playdate community. Glad to have you here, man. Um,
Very
Excuse me.
cool.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh goodness. Did you guys see this? There is a new unofficial Playdate product called the Playdate backpack. Did you guys see this?
Well, I guess not. No. Oh,
Oh,
it's on
so it
Twitter.
is not a backpack in the traditional sense. Essentially what it is, it's a little, I'm guessing it's 3D printed add-on, snap-on item that is a light for dark gaming environments. Guys, I've been asking for a backlit screen, and this might be the next best thing. Um, Anyhow,
This is really
I
cool.
got I got really excited about this. And if a light wasn't enough, it also doubles as a kickstand. So you can like flop it backwards and allow your playdate to sort of stand up. It also bills itself as a handle. And I'm a little confused about that, touting it to be a handle. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Regardless, I reached out to the developer, goes by Turf Master on Twitter, and I said, "Hey, this looks amazing. Do you have any plans to make more than 5 of these?" Because he mentioned I've made 5 of these, and essentially gave them out to his friends.
Hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, no, not really. Don't have any plans." And I'm like, "Well, it'd be real great. Might want to consider anyway. We'll see if it goes anywhere. I have a feeling that he might get some good feedback about this. I would love one. So hit me up if you want me to purchase number 6, Turf Master. And once again, we'll have a link to that in the show notes for today's episode. Now that you've had a moment to take a look at that, guys, what do you think?
I like the
Popcorn, Nick Baldridge.
I love the pouch that it comes in. That's pretty fantastic. Um,
Nick loves the pouch. Fantastic. What do you think about the product, Don?
I'm also a big fan of the pouch. Lots of meme references
Thanks, Don.
there. Big fan of the pouch. The product is really
Um,
cool too. I'm a little worried about the crank hitting the stand, but that is my
yeah,
only
reservation.
curiosity reservation. Thank you.
I was
Yep.
curious about that too. If you're moving your hand around, are you going to bonk this thing, or is there enough clearance where you wouldn't hit it? Yeah, I
Mhm.
was curious about that too.
And it
Yes.
looks like it uses button screws that go through the little um,
Holes.
through holes
Mhm.
on the front of the playdate to hold the back plane on. As far as carrying it like a handle, if you notice that the top has like molded grip
Yeah.
sections,
Oh,
so you flip it open
For
and then
comfort.
hold it that
okay.
way. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you like treat the Playdate like a suitcase and then it's
Yeah.
dangling down. Okay, I see. Oh
Mm.
man, that would worry me. Okay, interesting.
Maybe we
All
could
right.
So
get
looking at
oh, go ahead,
yep.
Rick.
Looking at this, I think one thing that would be interesting would be knowing how it's powered. Is it powered through the charging ports?
No, it looks like it's got batteries on the back.
I think it's
Are
got
there
batteries.
It's a
Oh, there
lipo
is a
battery.
battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, since it's got its own power source, putting one in each of the bumps of the handle, an LED, might be advisable
Oh,
to give
like
you
more LEDs?
more
Is that what you're
light.
saying?
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Look at you with your
That would
product
spread it out a
development,
little
Nick
bit.
Baldridge.
Tripled the product cost.
Yeah, well, it would. Yeah, and the wiring would
BOM,
Just
be
gonna
yeah.
a
put
lot more
this out there.
complicated.
Just gonna put this out there for Brian Hargrove, aka Turf Master. I would foot the bill for a 6th version with 3 LED lights, if
Wow.
indeed you decide to go that route. I will
Johnny
pay for the
Rico
extra
over here.
LED lights. All right, now that I'm done making it rain, any other thoughts about this particular product?
Nick, can you mass
Uh,
produce this little tiny 3D printed Playdate for us? I need some of those.
3D printed Playdate?
Yeah, look
There's
at there's like a tiny Playdate
Oh,
printed
yeah.
next to the Playdate. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is
I'm
great
so
for our
glad
audio podcast, by the way.
It is. Yeah.
It's worth a click into our show notes, but there
Yes.
is a picture with 2 Playdates, and I'm so glad you said something, Don, because for a very long time, I thought that was a gigantic Playdate.
Even better. Yeah, we need this next to the gigantic one they had at E3 or BGS or whatever it was.
All right. Have we talked about the Playdate Lite enough?
We have.
Okay. Then it sounds like we're ready for Don to tell us about something. I believe this is a Don
Oh,
update.
yes. I got a direct message this week from Gregory Kogosh, the developer behind and I played it a couple months ago, and I was disturbed by the way the bullet exited the Roomba, exited the ship. It was kind of gross and made it uncomfortable for me. So he messaged me and has added a feature. You can go into the menu and put a little cover over the butthole or whatever, the bullet hole. So it
Oh
doesn't
my
look gross
God, that's
anymore.
rich. Oh, that's so
So
rich.
there is a caveat that it does not save that setting from game to game. So every time you pop into the game, you'll need to turn it back on. But how cool is that? How nice is that? Accessibility champion of the year 2024 right here.
I'll say, I remember you mentioning that in a previous episode now that you say something. And I remember thinking it was humorous when you said it the first time. That's so cool of him to do something about it.
Very nice. Yes, I have not played the game since then because it's just it irks me, or it doesn't irk me. It just weirds me out. So now I can hop on and play it.
Now it's accessible. That's fantastic. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's wonderful. I love that a bunch.
So there we go.
Cool. Thank you for the update.
Notes.
Thank you for the update, Don. Thank you for the update, Gregory. Awesome. And Donathan, I feel like you should take this too.
Sure. So the Uncranked Game Jam we spoke about in length in our last episode is over, and the votes are in, and the winner has been announced. We'll just go over this real quick. We're not going to go through all of them.
Do we need a drum roll?
No. Congratulations to Totally Under Control. Dragon Flagon is the #1 winner of the Game Jam. It ranked number 1 in originality, bonus points for accessibility, theme usage, and being outstanding. #1 in enjoyment, #1 overall. So congratulations. It is a really fun game, which we mentioned. We're not going to go over it again, but we went over it in depth last time. Also, before I get too far and forget, Zanya made a really cool YouTube video showing clips of all 27 games.
Yes.
With a really good music bed, by the way. And it's only 4 minutes long, showing clips of all these games. So I'll put a link in the show notes. Definitely check that out. So cool.
So I don't know if I should even say this. I like that video a lot. It came through my feed. I'm subscribed. I'm so glad it's there. The one thing that got me though was I was looking through it. I'm like, oh, that game looks cool. Wait, what is that? And I wish there
Mm,
was just a little credit down at the bottom for each game while it was rolling. So
yeah.
if you got inspired, then you could go find it afterward. I know they're
There's
all listed in
yeah comments
the
or
comment, not the comments, the
description.
description. Yes.
Yeah.
I know they're all listed there, but it's not like, 2 minutes in, okay, it's the 47th entry. All right, I'm going to go look that up. It's a little difficult that way. Anyway,
That's fair.
next time, maybe some titles, but very, very cool of Zanya to put this together along with other folks like Dominic Haas, Pizza Fuel, and a one extra judge, Don Walton.
Two extra judges. Nevin was a judge as well.
Oh, that's right. Very cool.
Yeah. And I just want just the top three or so. Duck Game got second place, right behind Dragon Flag. And actually, there's a tie for second. Duck Game by Osuka and
Mm.
Quack Magic by Mr. Dan H and H Briggs.
Oh,
Somehow both tied with 4.167 overall scores.
good golly. And they both had the same exact scores for originality, bonus points, enjoyment. All that was exactly the same, it seems. Am
Weird,
I
huh?
misreading this?
No,
Oh,
it's weird. But there you
rigged.
go.
Okay.
And then Crystal Bay by Kaiser Yami got fourth, and Life's Too Short on Reflection by Pixel Ghost got fifth. And then I'll post a link. You can view all 27 rankings in the show notes.
Cool. Very neat. What a jam indeed. Cool. And we are the what do you say? Victors of the spoils of the riches of the
The real
we get to
winners
enjoy
are
all that.
us. Yes.
There we go. Thank you for saving me, as always. Okay, I think that does it for the news and notes, correct? Dramatic pause. See if I'm missing anything.
We're
No?
good.
Okay. Then why don't we move on to bitty boop boop and the inventory.
All right. So we did not go over any of these last time. I'm not going to do a super long list here, but we're going to start with people who reached out and asked that we talk about their game, but I would have anyway, because our friend Slider271 on Threads has released a game inspired by the ZX Spectrum game Mind Out, originally released in 1983. This game is called Mind Out, and it is currently free on itch. There'll be a link in the show notes, and I have not played it because my Playdate has been packed. I just cleaned it out. But yeah, it's a cool looking mining game. You can check out different difficulties in there, mine around, collect stuff, raise your score. You remember this one, Nick, from back in the day?
No, I haven't played it, but looks really cool.
It does look cool. Check it out, these screenshots here, and man, it looks I don't know, what would you compare this to? Like a dungeon crawler dig dug of sorts?
Upside down dig
Yeah,
dug.
it's like a mine puzzle exploration game.
Yeah,
Very
looks
cool.
fun.
Cool. Yeah,
Looks fun. Just downloaded. Cool.
cool. So check that one out. And next up is Crank It. Came out on catalog today for $3. You guys may remember Kitty Pig by Thumb Grooves.
Mhm.
We mentioned a couple episodes back. This is the next game. This is a variation on the Bop It toy, which
Ah.
I'm a big fan of. Most people are. So you have motion controls, cranking, shaking, pressing buttons. Yeah, this just came out today, so it also makes fun of you, which I love that feature, of course, the Bop It. So looking
That's
forward to playing
real
this.
neat. Turning the Playdate into a Bop It. Very fun.
Multiplayer.
Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
Wow. Oh, say no more.
There you
All
go.
right. Fantastic. On a mildly related note, did you know that they turned Bop It into like a full-size arcade game? Have you guys seen this? Yeah, they've got it
Mm-mm.
at my local arcade here in Michigan called Pinball Pete's, and it's got this like odd circular, centrally located color dot matrix display, like an LED dot matrix display in the middle, and it's got all the things, molded into the features of twist it, pull it, whip it, bop it, whatever it does. Anyway, It's pretty cool.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I played it a couple times with my son, and we had a lot of fun with it.
I'll definitely check
Cool.
that out.
Awesome. Well, if you're not in the arcade, you can get this for just $3 and play it to your heart's content over on Catalog. Crank it. Looks fun.
Nice. Next
Did
up
we
is
say
Angel Pop by NNNN. $6 on catalog right now. This is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, I think. I haven't played this one yet. I'm looking forward to playing it. The gifts are crazy. I've only heard very,
bonkers?
very good things about this from beta testers.
Mm.
Full-length arcade game. Very much looking forward to playing this.
I'm surprised all this can happen on the Playdate. These gifts are just unbelievably dense. There's so much going on the screen.
Yeah, it says
Very
up to
interesting.
1,000 objects on screen.
Oh, be quiet.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but it can't
Gracious.
be false advertising. There must be 1,000 things on the screen. I trust
Maybe there's
the
a
dev
thousand
here.
pixels on the screen.
I'm
No,
not
it
going to do the
looks like
math, but
there's a ton of stuff on the screen. So
There's a
whatever they're doing
bunch.
is very efficient.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Wow. Huh. Interesting.
Anyway, $6 right now in catalog.
Cool.
Next up, free this month only, the month of June 2024, Baseball Hero by Matt's Devlog. This is a really fun looking baseball game. There's a target practice and you're pitching and batting and keep score. So I don't know, just looks real cute and fun. I love these little easy, not easy, but simple to play sports games. So hop on this before it's not free, but you can name your own price and pay whatever you like right now if you prefer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Easy to learn, hard to master.
Hard to master. We haven't mentioned it enough. Icy Dungeon, $3. I barely squeaked it in 2 episodes ago, but it is on catalog. Very cool puzzle game. Don't forget to check it out. Be kind to yourself, Ryan or Nick. One of you guys added this back in. We did mention this, I think, by Mouflon Cloud.
Wasn't me.
Okay, well, Pete Best, deep cut there, added this one. Anyway, if you haven't played Be Kind to Yourself, very cool shooter meets rhythm game on catalog right now. I tried to put in some more games this week and was just as terrible as always, but I'm starting to understand the scoring a little bit more. So it's complicated, but not like, you know, what needs to happen, but making it happen is hard to do. Simple to learn, difficult to master. Is a great combination for Playdate games. So $8, Be Kind to Yourself by Mouflon Cloud. Don't miss it. Mini Monsters, I have not played. Mini Monsters by Cryptoid98. This thing has been dominating the itch charts for the past month. It looks like a Tamagotchi,
Yep.
but like a really nice one, and it is just like pinned to the top of the charts. So it must be good. I don't know. It's getting regular updates. There's 6-7 updates the past 2 weeks. Any interest, guys?
Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing what that was about.
Cool. You can
I never got
idle it
into
on the screen. Go ahead.
I never got into Tamagotchi as a kid. I mean, I don't even want a real pet right now, and I got one
Me either. Yeah, same.
against my will. So I don't feel a big connection to Tamagotchi, but it looks like it would be a bomb Tamagotchi game if that's your thing.
It does look
I
really cool.
never really messed with Tamagotchi, but I've always interested in new devices, new games, those kind of things. So
Yeah.
curious.
If you've played it and you have a mini review, let us know. This is $4. So if you haven't played it and it sounds good, give it a shot. Mini Monsters.
Yeah, looks great. Looks like a great Tamagotchi throwback. Very cool.
Yeah. Fin 2, I wanted to mention that they created a pedometer app for the Playdate and mentioned it on our Discord. So I thought I'd throw it in here. It's free. It's a pedometer. You turn your Playdate upside down and stick it in your pocket. I don't know how it works, but they put a lot of work into it and got it to work. So there you go. Give it a shot.
I wonder if it works in different orientations. Like, how would you ensure that it stays upside down in your pocket? Maybe I'll
don't
download this
know.
because I use a pedometer all the time, and maybe I'll compare and see how
Put it
they
to the
work with them.
test.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like there's 4 different downloads. Oh, that always confuses me. Version 1.2, I guess that's most recent, huh?
Why is that? Why are there different? Oh, maybe there's different features?
Hmm.
I
We might
don't
have to read
know.
the words, guys, later when we're not recording a podcast.
Right.
But for
Okay.
now,
Clocksmith by the Sparkade. I did play this one today. You're basically like setting the time as quick as possible with your crank, and the clock is constantly ticking down, and you get a couple extra seconds when you hit the right time on the clock combination lock. This might make more sense
This
if you're looking at a GIF.
looks amazing.
Yeah,
This
it's
looks
pretty
yeah.
fun.
awesome. And the itch page itself looks awesome too.
Hmm.
Um, they did a lot of great work here. I am super into this.
Yeah, just downloaded that myself. And if we haven't said so already, it's a name your own price.
Hmm.
Very nice of the dev.
The little title card or whatever looks like a little lock picking kit. Like it looks like a little case.
Hmm.
It's really cute. Anyway, that's Clocksmith by Arspargo. And next up, Skyward Battles by Crankwork Games. This is no, not 1942. What is this, Nick? What does this look like? Ryan, do you know? I feel like I've seen this 1,000 times, but I don't know what this type of game is.
Right, 1942's overhead. This
Overhead,
is
yeah.
profile. So what would that be? Yeah, don't know.
I just got
Nick?
this loaded up, and
Glory Days
the,
2 is the only thing I can think of, but I don't know if anybody knows that pull.
the movement is like Echo the Dolphin. So
Echo the
I
Dolphin
don't have a point
in a
of
plane.
comparison.
Okay, you're flying a plane, shooting stuff. It looks fun. It looks super polished. I have not played it,
I feel like
obviously.
Echo is our new sheep launcher. We mentioned
That's our
this
new katamari or
seemingly every
WarioWare. Yeah.
episode. Okay. So we have a few
Okay.
of them, I guess.
Your podcast is going under.
Moving
Okay.
right
Anyway,
along.
looks great. Skyward Battles. Nick, this is yours. El Prado, a cult club. The day I met the witch. Some kind of walking adventure, RPG, Japanese,
Ooh,
occult thing. This is a Nick game. I don't know. Visual novel.
this looks great.
Yes.
This does look cool.
Well, we'll be playing that as Nick's pick someday. But name your own price. Luna Pork. This one keeps coming up too. Has been mentioned several times by Antonio Bafante. This is a kids circus game with pigs, but it looks again really polished. The reviews and the comments here are really nice. So if you want a really polished kids game, give Luna Pork a look. It is
Oh,
what is it,
man.
$3? Yeah.
Where did I see this trailer before? I feel like I've seen this before somewhere recently, and the gameplay did look super polished. My goodness. Yeah, give this a look, guys. $3 on itch. Totally looks worth it.
And then I was just gonna pop over to catalog and just mention real quick the stuff we missed. Dance Break Dance by Julian Anders Bjornskov. This is a rhythm dancing game, Nick. It looks really cool.
What?
Came out today. The animation is sick. It looks kind of like Get Through Man, but I think these are the people that did Escape the Arcade. Anyway, looks really fun.
Whoa, gotta check that out.
Yeah. No Caddy Included by Eric Osterberg, which we talked about a few weeks ago. If you want to hear a deep dive on it. Aligned by Nirvana LLC. We mentioned a couple weeks ago when it came to Itch. It's looks kind of like the Shift with levels. A Shift like is how we talked about it, but with levels and different symbols. So check that one out. Jump Rope Star by Soingster's Game. This one is multiplayer on the same device at the same time.
What?
Ryan.
What?
One of you is jumping, the other one is turning the rope.
Ah.
Yeah. So give that a go. Touch Egg, we mentioned a few weeks ago by Joel, is now on catalog. Summit by Pixelated Opus. Been hearing lots of good things about this. It looked like Celeste, so I was scared away. But Low Tech Games said it was not nearly as difficult as Celeste. So you're a
I thought we
platformer, but you're on the mountain.
did we
Yes.
talk about this last episode, or did we talk about
No.
this in Discord? Because I remember
Discord.
having a conversation about how incredibly difficult this looks.
It does look difficult, but no, we have not talked about it.
Uh, Very
Almost done.
interesting single screen platformer, though.
The Heist of the Argonaut Limited by Nicholas Ilani Carlson. $5. It is a classic RPG text adventure.
Oh,
Oh,
Nicholas.
Nick.
Other
Nick.
Nicholas.
Calm down.
Yes. 20-sided
this
dies and
looks awesome.
yes.
I feel like
Yeah.
Nick has had several revisions of his next pick of the week coming up.
Mm-hmm. You got a whole year planned out.
Yeah, over the course of this episode. Boy. All right.
And finally, Rocket Bird relaunched by Dragon Chasing Games. It's got kind of a Flappy Bird thing, but there's like power-ups and whatnot. And it's got a space theme. Looks pretty neat, actually. I think it looks pretty fun. I have not tried this one. Got online leaderboards, which of course I love those. So yeah, if you've tried it, let us know what you think. This one is $2. And we're done.
Neat.
There's a million more games that you should check out. The latest games thing on itch is packed with games I didn't mention.
Man, a lot of good ones there. Don, thank you for calling this list for us every episode. Very cool.
Sure.
All right. Well, I guess that means it's time for our boobity boo 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 boobity boop pick of the week. And this week it is throwing the mic back to Don.
Should have one of you guys do inventory when it's my pick, because then it's just me talking for 20 minutes. So Mad City is by Tanuk Productions or Prod. I think it's Tanuk Productions.
Prod.
But the idea is it looks like the old GTA games, not GTA 3, but 1 and 2. A top-down view of the city, top-down view of the car, but it isn't that nefarious. You're just trying to get across the city. And you run into different characters, and the idea is you're usually presented with one or two directions you can drive, and you simply push up, left, or right, and you go whatever directions you're allowed to turn. If you choose the wrong direction, the cops will fine you. Sometimes you get robbed. Sometimes you're low on gas and have to buy it. Sometimes you need
To go wee wee.
you go wee wee, and that is an emergency. So there's a timer on how quickly you need to make your turns, and you don't have a map. So you're just you have a compass though, and it can break down. Your engine can break down and use up more gas. There's all these things working against you, but the goal is to just keep going north and eventually find the exit. And you won't know until the game is over if either you made it or how close you made it. So it's a bit of a challenge, but it's a lot of fun. Like there's a lot of personality and characters to the game, and it makes it fun to keep replaying. And it's also really fast. Like you're in and out of the game, pick up and play, bam, 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 back and forth. So I think it's charming and compelling. But I would like to hear what you guys think. Nick, are you ready to talk about Mad City?
I am ready to talk about Mad City. Thank you, Don. So as in real life, I found myself immediately lost.
All right.
And I was never able to complete the game the way it was intended to be completed, despite many tries. But I really enjoyed the quick decision making process and the moment by moment gameplay experience of this game. Essentially, you are scanning each screen as you enter it to determine if it's something you need to interact with or if you can make a turn, but the directions that you can turn might be limited. You're trying to head just due north, but you can't because certain blocks don't allow you to go straight. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this game. I do intend to finish it one day. My joke at the beginning is because I have a terrible sense of direction in real life. Can't navigate anywhere. But so this mirrored my normal confusion. But yeah, the graphics and so forth are fantastic. The audio as well. I'm trying to remember. Did Was there a separate
Like,
song that played in the attract mode? I think so. And it kind of had a synthwave vibe um, compared to the actual gameplay. It was quite different than what I expected. Um, but uh,
I don't know. I
it
didn't
was
keep it in the track mode long enough.
it was really interesting to hear. I might be confusing that with something else, but I'm pretty sure it was Mad City. Um,
We should say we slightly mentioned it earlier. We were supposed to review this game 2 weeks ago, but it got bumped. So we've had a month to play this one. So we've been blasting through runs, and I honestly haven't had it in the track mode in ages. So I don't remember. I just want to hop in and play. We didn't mention there's a taxi mode too. Did you give that a shot?
I did, yeah. So taxi mode is like a score chasing mode. Um, it's kind of reminiscent of Crazy Taxi ish in that you're trying to drop people off at places that they want to go.
Hmm.
Um, it took a little bit of time to kind of get the hang of that mode for me, um, but I did enjoy it. I found myself wanting to go back to the main game very frequently though, because I wanted to make it to the door, the exit at the top, and I still have not accomplished that. So I've been kind of ducking in and out of taxi mode when I needed to have a little break from getting lost.
Yeah, the gameplay, I guess the rhythm changes quite a bit because taxi mode's like a score chaser. So you're
Hmm.
not really just headed one direction. It has you moving around. And
Yep.
your pattern on the map will look much different. But it's cool how different they are. Ryan, what did you think?
Yeah, I had similar feelings about classic versus taxi mode. And taxi mode, I kind of found myself longing to play classic mode. I like the difference in gameplay and that you could kind of, as Nick mentioned, take a break. But I really did enjoy the challenging goal of trying to get to that endpoint in classic mode, and it was quite challenging. I managed to do it once, and
Mhm.
it was a heck of a feeling once you get there because you know what you're supposed to do. You're basically shooting for due north, but because of the availability of arrows, you can go straight, left, right, but you cannot always go all those directions. So sometimes you can only go right, or you can only go left, or vice versa. Um, Anyhow, it makes it a real challenge. And I'm not sure if we mentioned some of these hindrances that come up in the game. For example, sometimes when your car breaks down, then your directional compass breaks. And consequently, you're not entirely sure which direction you're going because you're going straight, left, right, and a lot of things in very quick succession. And sometimes you get a little turned around just like in real life as you're trying to move through a space. Um, so I thought that was really fun. So, occasionally you have to go pee pee and you have to find toilets, or you've purchased too much gas and your funds are running low, and so you need to find a bank, or your car is busted, so you need to find a mechanic shop. There's just a lot of different um, required elements of the game that make it fun and challenging. And Nick also touched on the quick decision making that needs to happen, which I really enjoy because occasionally you'll get in this rhythm of moving, 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 and then oh no, I passed by my pee toilet or my bank or whatever you needed to do at the time. So it was a really fun, like, oh, I'm getting in this rhythm, but I'm feeling really good about myself. And then, oh gosh, I was not paying as close attention as I should have. Um, I wanted to circle back to the music thing you guys were talking about. While you were talking, I fired up the Playdate, and yes, indeed, there is a different tune on the startup screen than there is in gameplay. But like you said, both of them pretty like I don't know what do you call that? Like chill hop, or like what are the kids calling that these days?
Chill wave,
Chill wave, a wave of
synth
chills.
wave. Yeah,
Sure,
I don't know.
synthy chills, synth hoppy waves.
Definitely
Anyway,
not
it
that.
was a lot more like relaxing than I expected for such a fast-paced, quickly paced, fast decision paced game. Am I saying words that make any sense? They make sense in my mind.
Well,
What did you guys think?
the dev pointed out that it doesn't have to be a fast decision game. As long as you don't have to go to the bathroom, you can
Right.
take your time making decisions. And I did not realize that until they said it in our Discord. I
Yeah,
was always
PP
just trying to knock it out as quick as I could.
PP time changes all that. It's true. But I did not understand that at first either. I'm trying to remember, was I the person who asked the dev that question? That was something I
I
was
don't
really
know.
curious about. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyhow, it was interesting to find that out. But even after finding that out, I found myself like, "Ooh, better make it quick."
Mhm.
Even though I knew that, it kind of facilitates that speedy decision making somehow.
And it looks like looking at the GIFs, there are scenarios where you can only go one direction.
Uh-huh.
So, like one of them you're pointing up. I was thinking there are always at least two to make it more confusing, but that's not the case. And it looks like you have 3 seconds to choose a direction when you have to go to the bathroom.
Mhm.
A quick tip that they pointed out, and they pointed out here in the notes, is that always use the bathroom when possible. It's free
Mhm.
and it'll get rid of the timer. Nick had pointed out at some point that you never have to go to the bathroom. There's no penalty. So as long as you're quick, you can just run the whole thing out.
Hmm. It's interesting.
But
Never really thought of
that's not
that. Good one,
satisfying.
Nick.
You want to help the guy out. That's how I felt. I don't know. Um, I did like the graphics are fairly clear. Like I was never really confused about like, oh, I haven't found a bank. I haven't found a gas station. You pretty much in 3 seconds you can figure out what you're looking at. This is a garage or whatever, which is nice. I did have several instances where I just couldn't find what I needed, and that
Mhm.
was frustrating, but that's just how it is, I guess sometimes. I would run out of gas. That was probably my most frequent problem.
I I totally agree with you. There were multiple times where I could not find the needed facilities. And I thought, gosh, there must not be any here. And then at the end, when it shows you the map, you can pull up where different things were. Where were the banks? Where were the pee-pee toilets? And you're like skirting all around them. They were right where you were going. It was fun to see how many there actually were, which are typically quite a lot. It's funny how you just seem to miss them though.
I'm trying to remember. I think I counted how many gas stations there were one of the runs, and it was in the 40s.
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember because, like I said, it was a few weeks ago, but that's quite a few for the how small
Yeah.
the grid is. But it is
Yeah.
nice you get that map at the end, sort of that Legend of Zelda or that Breath of the Wild over map. What other games do that where they show you like the whole map of where you were? That's only if you had the like special bonus pass too, which is so dumb. Anyway, it's
Who
cool
had a
seeing the
bonus
map.
pass? Not this game.
No, Breath of the Wild, if you bought the
Yeah.
bonus pass, you could
Okay.
see everywhere you walked. But anyway,
Yeah,
the
no.
nice thing here is that you can see everywhere you drove
Yeah,
and
Mad
how
City, you
close
get
you
the
missed
map.
stuff.
No bonus
Included.
downloadable content needed. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
I did have one
oh,
question. If you guys are on the site, oh, so look at any of these screens where there's text. What is the blob behind the text? It looks kind of like a
I
cat,
was wondering
like a
about that
Halloween cat.
too. And then I saw another screenshot where it was totally clear. It was like, I don't know, somebody in handcuffs or something, or
Oh, if you go to jail, it's cleared. Yeah.
is that the only one where it's clear?
Well, it becomes bars. It's clear, then it becomes bars, or handcuffs, then bars, or something like that.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out that blob too. I know it doesn't mean anything for gameplay. It's just sort of a
Hmm?
background something, but uh yeah, I could not figure
I
that out.
don't know what the heck you guys are talking about.
Oh, are you
If
looking
you
at the site?
hop over to the itch
Yeah,
page and go
I
one,
am.
two, three, four, five, six gifs down, there's a police person talking, police checkpoint. What is that background image behind the police person and the speech balloon?
the shape in the background.
It's like
Huh.
this hatched
It looks like a cat kind
amorphous
of.
shape.
I thought it was just the existing street through a filter, but I could be wrong.
Yes.
Maybe, sort of.
That's a possibility. I think
I
that's a
don't know.
possibility.
If you look
It's
at
a
the
definite
bottom one,
maybe.
it's different. And so since the one with the police checkpoint, there would be a police car in the middle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, which
Baldridge,
one's
I
I
think
don't
you're
know
different?
onto
that for
something.
sure.
Yep. Scroll down to the very bottom.
Yeah, the taxi one.
GIF.
It's not different.
Yeah, it is. Look at the
Take a
central.
closer look, Don.
Look at the
Oh,
central
there's
black
one
shape.
blob missing.
Yep,
You're right.
that's right. Good
Okay,
eye,
good call.
Baldridge.
Good call.
Goodness. Nice
I
work.
don't know
I
that that's true.
I I have a feeling Baldridge may have solved our little mystery here.
This is screen 256 right here.
Mm, cool.
Anyway,
So I also had a question. I'm curious how what the matrix is for the map. Like you said, there's 42 banks or mechanics or whatever.
mhm.
How many squares are there in the whole map? Like, is it 10 by 10? Is it 20 by 20? Like, I was kind of curious about the matrix we were working with. I
I
don't
don't
think it
know. I
states that
I tried to
anywhere.
go straight up and see how many kilometers that was, but it's almost impossible to go straight up. I
Right.
got really far. Like you see the dot on the map is like maybe 10 kilometers up. I got about that far one time because the map is procedurally generated. It changes every time.
Hmm.
So I'm guessing maybe 20 or 25 up and 20, 25 over.
Yeah,
So
that
500
sounds about
squares
right.
or
Huh.
whatever 25 times 25 is.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't do math.
25
Nick's
times
the
25
genius.
equals 625. Goodness, that would really be a lot of squares, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
well, I don't know.
Cool. Really cool game though. I enjoyed my time on it. It was one of these games where, Don was describing it as like this Grand Theft Auto thing, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, that just super doesn't sound like it's up my alley." And then I started playing this and it was so much fun. I feel like that is a repeated feeling when I play Dawn games. I'm like, this is going to be something that I would never purchase, but I always have a great time with it. This was kind of like an old school dungeon crawler meets modern taxi aesthetic in my eyes. Um, yeah, just had a lot of fun with it.
Glad to hear that. It's what I've been wanting to talk about for such a long time. This is like a Playdate staple.
Hmm.
Like this thing's never leaving my Playdate. Nick, did
Yeah.
you have any kind of closing thoughts? There is a small spoiler I want to talk about, but we can close out before that.
I thought this game was a ton of fun, and I've been looking forward to playing this since it was announced, and this was perfect. So thanks for choosing this one, Don. Had a great time with it, as expected.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And thank you to Nook Prod. Real quick, we had a comment here from Dino, and I want to thank Skyzo. Skyzo is the dev on our Discord, but Dino and he and James Gameboy, who goes by Vic on our Discord, the three of them were just commenting back and forth, and a few other people. But we had almost 200 comments in that Mad City thread
Hmm.
over the weeks. Just they were mostly doing taxi runs and like comparing scores and stuff. It was really cool. But Dino said, thanks for creating this game. I've had fun giving it a whirl. Thanks for being active in the discussion, providing tips and feedback. Some quick thoughts. I was confused to begin with and benefited from some helpful advice. Once in the flow, I enjoyed the variety and layering of challenges. My favorite mechanic is the toilet break and its comic urgency, forcing you to make quick decisions. The broken compass was also fun. There's a heavy dose of luck involved. You can only resolve the various issues if you find the appropriate stop, and sometimes that never happens. Some games are hopeless. For those occasions, a quick restart option accessed via the game menu would be useful. Taxi mode is a clever twist on the classic mode's gameplay. It extends the life of the game with its high score chasing. An online leaderboard would be ideal. That's ambitious. I don't know how hard that is to do, but that would be cool. But thank you for the comments, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Dean, for always commenting. And I'm curious, Nick and Don, Dino said something there that I'm not sure I agree with, and I understand Dino's not here to defend himself, but he said sometimes games feel hopeless or that there is no chance of moving forward. I never felt that way. I always felt like, man, the very next screen could be the thing that gets me out of this jam. And I never felt
Yeah.
like I was in a place that I felt, oh, I'm just flipping this table and starting over again. What was your guys' thoughts about that?
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Ryan. I never felt hopeless, but I spent uh, or spend most of my time playing this game acting as if I have to use the bathroom. So I make super rapid decisions normally
While using the
um,
bathroom.
in the game, and that tends to serve me poorly, which probably explains why I've never finished this in the intended fashion. But um, yeah, I never felt quite that way. There were certainly situations where I needed a garage to fix up the car and just could not find one for the life of
Mm,
me.
mm,
Um, that did happen a few different times with different scenarios. A garage, fuel, that was a big
Mhm.
one. Um, and that can make you feel increasingly uh, scared. Is that the right word? I don't know. Worried. That's the word. Um, which is kind of a cool feeling that this game can elicit. Actually, um, I really enjoyed that. But
yeah, and I
what?
too felt similarly that I need a mechanic, I need a bank, I need a whatever, and nothing's showing up. But never at any point during that did I feel like I know that this is never showing up, so I need
Yeah.
to restart. Like I always felt like, okay, just one more screen. It's gonna be on the next. I don't know. Maybe I'm an eternal optimist. I don't know.
There's a bit of that gambler's luck, like, oh, I can make it one
Yeah.
more screen. But I do know what he means, where sometimes you're really low on cash and really low on fuel, and your car is damaged.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, I can make it one more screen, and one of these is gonna go. So you can't find a bank, fuel, and a garage all in the same spot or whatever. So
Yeah, that's true.
anyway,
Well, regardless, Dino, thank you so much for chiming in. I don't mean to bag on you when you're not here. And this is not a bag. This is just a different feeling about the game. But you've been such uh an active participant in our Discord community and such a cool listener. So thank you for chiming in and sharing your thoughts. Much appreciated.
sure. Nick, you're up next. Your pick is up next.
Yes. So next we're going to be visiting Ian Harrower Games' Time Flies Like an Arrow. So this is the full
Ah,
release. We talked about it, the Play Jam version, but this is the full commercial release. So join us next episode when we talk about Time Flies Like an Arrow from Ian
oh
Harrower
man.
Games.
So cool. Ian, I'm looking forward to playing the full release. I've only played the Game Jam version so far, so I can't wait to give this the proper go.
Side note, Ian Harrower Games just released a game that was designed for the drained playfield module called Blood Bank Billiards. So I'm in a very Ian Harrower Games mode right now. I'm excited to talk about this in depth.
You're very
Cool.
prolific, Ian. Nice work.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to this one. I've only played the smaller version as well, I think. So cool. Yeah, good pick. Um, we'll close this out and then just real quick spoilers after this. You can email us helloplaydatepodcast@gmail.com. All of our socials will be in the show notes. Don't forget to order a shirt and check out our new logo and shower Ryan with praise for his awesome logo. Thank you so much for doing that, Ryan. I really appreciate that. It looks awesome.
Thank you so
And
much. Glad to do it.
yeah, we'll catch you guys soon. Thank you.
Bye.
We'll give everybody a beat or two. And I wanted to talk about the endings because there are multiple endings. I don't know how many you guys saw, but just real quick. Uh, Just real quick, did you guys? How many endings did you see, Ryan? If Nick isn't able to talk right now,
I saw one ending because I completed it once.
okay,
How many
I've
endings
seen.
did you see?
I think I've seen 4 different endings, but not the intended one yet.
okay.
What now?
Yeah, I think
I thought you
there's
did not
maybe
complete it,
5
Nick.
endings.
I didn't complete it the intended way, but there are multiple ways that you can finish the game. I finished it poorly many times.
What is the unintentional way of completing it?
You can drive back out the way that you came in.
Oh, really?
That's one way.
Oh, that's
Um,
interesting.
there are multiple ending scenarios.
What does that do? What ending does that give you?
Well, you'll have to
Oh,
experiment
come
and
on.
find
They were in
out.
the spoiler section. Don't do this to me, Nick.
I forget the exact wording. It's something funny though. It takes
Yeah.
like 10 seconds to do.
That's funny though.
2 lefts and a right or whatever, and you're there.
Yeah. I was always so focused on going northward, I never thought to come back fully south.
You have to get lost like me.
Someone in the Discord did it on accident, which was
That
Was
funny.
that
was
Nick?
No, I don't think it
well,
was
I
Nick.
did too.
Oh, okay, maybe it was Nick. There's one, of course, you got the arrest one. It sounded like Ryan,
Mhm.
and then running out of gas and stuff. I don't know if I call those endings, but there's one if you kill a police officer, that's another one.
Huh.
Um, if you come to a traffic stop and you push up to go straight, if there's a cop in front of you,
Mm,
that's another one.
yeah. Uh-huh.
That
Um,
that may have happened unintentionally a few times.
I don't know
I
if I'd call all these completions of the game.
no, they're like hidden secret endings.
They're
No, I
they're
didn't say
ending scenarios,
completions.
Ryan.
I said they're
Oh,
endings.
I thought you were talking about completions. Okay,
We need to
go
get
on.
Ryan on near automata.
Hmm.
It has like 20 endings or something.
Game
And
with 26 endings. Yeah.
yeah,
What game is this?
near automata
Nothing
or
for the
whatever.
Playdate. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
okay.
it's a PlayStation
All
game.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. I just wanted to see if you guys found anything I didn't. I don't think we talked. I don't think Skyzo messaged any other or mentioned any others.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got the true and proper one, and then a few of those you did not actually complete the game endings as well,
Hmm.
of course. But never the South ending. I've got to go try that now.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Since
cute.
Nick's being cagey.
I like that there's those type of things, not just game overs, or like, oh, you ran out of gas, but it's like something different, something
Hmm.
cute and hidden.
Yeah,
That's always
it's
fun in a
cool.
Did
game.
we talk about the animations as you move from screen to screen? I don't think we did, but I
No.
found them very enjoyable.
Yeah.
The car zooming one direction or
Hmm.
another.
Hmm.
Yep.
It was like a little interstitial screen. Yeah.
All the art and animation was great. Even how the
Mm.
character models don't fit at all. They're just like almost like South Park characters, but it just makes it like takes you puts a different spin on it, I guess.
Hmm.
Like getting robbed or arrested or something doesn't feel gritty.
Yeah, feels a little more farcical with
Yeah.
the sort of rudimentary composition of the figures. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right. Spoiler out.